There are three planes of motion in which we move. These planes of motion are known as the sagittal plane, the frontal plane, and the transverse plane. The sagittal plane splits the body down the middle, resulting in a left side and a right side. Moving within the sagittal plane will result in forwards or backwards motion, such as walking or running. The frontal plane splits the body so that there are front and back sections. This allows sideways movement to the left and the right. The transverse plane divides the body across the middle, giving a top section and a bottom section. This allows rotational movement, for example, a person spinning around in a circle. Each plane of motion works alongside an axis of rotation. This will allow specific movements to take place. In a diagram, the axis of rotation is shown by a line going through an image of the body. If we imagine rotating this line, then a specific movement will happen. The sagittal plane works alongside the transverse axis. The transverse axis runs through the body from the hip to hip. If we were to rotate around the transverse axis, then a forward roll, backwards roll, or somersault could occur. The frontal plane works alongside the frontal axis. The frontal axis stabs through the center of the body, and if we were to rotate around this axis, then a cartwheel would occur. The transverse plane works alongside the longitudinal axis. The longitudinal axis runs through the body as a vertical line. If we were to rotate around the longitudinal axis, then spinning would occur. A hammer throw or a twist jump in ice skating are examples of sporting actions that take place around the longitudinal axis. This topic can appear difficult to begin with, but there really isn't much to it. If you can learn the information on the screen now, then you can answer any question on planes and axes. So to recap, the frontal plane works with the frontal axis, and this results in a cartwheel. The sagittal plane works with the transverse axis, and this results in a forward roll or somersault. And the transverse plane works with the longitudinal axis, and this results in a twist jump.